on the river today. We're tubing, kayaking, fishing, doing a little bit of everything. We're jumping out and fishing some holes, and right here we got a gravel bar. This is called a gravel bar, and this usually happens on the inside of turns, just like this. It comes around this turn, and here we have this gravel bar where there's a low pressure area. High pressure being where the current is, low pressure where there's no current or low current. So all the heavies, like rocks and gold and gems and anything that has a heavier body to it, will go to the lower pressure systems of the river. So all of your gravel bars end up collecting over here because this is where the low pressure is. All right, so if you're looking for gold, if you're looking for gems, if you're looking for artifacts, arrowheads, pottery, different things like that, come and look in the gravel bars, the low pressure areas of the river. Okay, and that's where you're going to find all of your heavies. Okay, so I'm just going to check this gravel bar real fast. If I find anything in this gravel bar here for some artifacts or anything that would be pickable. I don't have a gold pan with me today or anything like that, so just surface collecting. And I found this old Clorox bleach bottle bottom. These make some really good arrowheads. I am a flint knapper, if you guys didn't know, and I'm always on the lookout for good material to make some knife blades or arrowhead points out of. So these Clorox bleach bottles are really thick bottoms. They were really good glass back in the day. They tend to cheapen out more now in the modern day and make things thinner with weaker glass. So this glass is really good, and I'll be able to get 1 or maybe 2 arrowheads out of this. So if you are looking to get into flint knapping, glass bottle bottoms, TV glass, and plate glass is the best thing to learn on, just because it's very easy to obtain. You can get a lot of it for free as long as you just go and find it. Check that out. Perfect square. That's called feldspar. This is feldspar. You can tell the way it cleaves. So yep. But anyway, back to the Clorox bleach bottle. You want to start out with glass. All right, so this is perfect for starting out with. Just go to dump sites, rivers, things like that. You'll find stuff like this, I promise you. All right, I'll have to bring you a video on how to knap one of these. So I will do that here in the next couple days for you guys, and show you how to do that. And if anybody has any questions or comments about learning to flint knap, I would be glad to help anyone that wants to learn. This definitely is not an overnight learn. It takes years and years of practice. The more you give to it, the better you will be. Okay, so just comment below if you guys want to learn. I might put together a napping kit to give away here shortly as a giveaway for you guys. So I'm going to start doing some giveaways, flies, art stuff that I make, napped points and knives and necklaces, just different stuff that I make, my artwork, things like that. So just to show you guys that I appreciate every one of you for subscribing. We're going to do some giveaways, maybe once a month, maybe once every other month, I'm not sure, but I'll let you know. All right, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Subscribe, tell your friends to subscribe, share this if you know somebody that wants to learn how to flint knap or just interested in how they did it. Here you go. Here's some more plate glass, more bottle bottoms, and these are old bottle bottoms here too, so these work. We could take all that home with us and make arrowheads out of it. All right, see you next time, man. Peace. What's up, everybody? Brian Peacock back once again, Epic Outdoor Adventures. We're gonna do some flint knapping for you today, all right? But it's not flint, it's gonna be glass, all right? This here is a bottle bottom. It's old Clorox bleach bottle bottom. You can see it says Clorox on there. We're gonna take all that off, but I'm gonna show you guys how I started knapping with glass bottle bottoms. Beer bottle bottoms, like 40-ounce bottles. The older bottles tend to work better. They are a lot thicker and made so it's a lot easier to flake them down a little thicker and not break them as much. So I got a hammerstone here. This is just a I think this is just a hard, tight granite, maybe. But it's a hammerstone that I've been using for a few years. You can see how it's almost perfectly round. When you find these in the fields, some people call them discoidals or something like that. They tend to have a little dip in them. They think they were a game piece or something like that. They're said to be, but I think discoidals used to be hammerstones. That's just my theory. Just because they really look like a very well used hammerstone like this, and I'm just going off of my experiences in knapping the last 5 years. So anyway, you can find bottle bottoms just about everywhere. Trash dumps, old adjust you guys here, old like old trails and old dirt roads, old properties, rivers, river banks, bluffs, dump sites, things like that. So free, doesn't cost anything, and you can definitely learn a lot just from knapping glass. And another good key point to knapping glass is that it sells very well. Okay, I can go buy Flint from Texas or you know, Arkansas or Missouri or wherever, and people won't buy it. It's just gray or it's just black or whatever. And you can get glass. It's brown, blue, it's see-through, it's shiny, it's sparkly, and people tend to like the glass. And on the obsidian as well, which is just natural glass from volcano. So, but yeah, let's get into this. Let's dive into it. What I do is I end up taking all this burry stuff off of here, all around the edge, okay? And I do that by turning it over and facing all that downwards, okay? You want to support underneath, but you don't want to pinch. You don't want to squeeze or put any pressure, because that's what's going to break under vibration. All right, so you just kind of want it to set there. I kind of put it right in that cleat of my, right where my fingers start my hand, and it kind of seats it right there to where it won't move backwards, okay? And then we just start trimming just a little bit at a time, and we just work our way around slowly. You don't want to hit too hard here, all right? And we're going to try to bring this edge right here that I'm working on. Okay, we're trying to bring it up to right there where that roundness starts, okay? So, just a little bit at a time. And this is a work rock, and it's kind of flat here, and then it kind of goes over. So I like to use this little corner edge of this, all right? If you're just beginning and you just found the rock, you know, your hammerstones can vary. It doesn't really matter what you use, as long as your hammerstone is harder than the rock that you're trying to chip. All right, so glass is really fragile, and you can probably use just about any rock on glass. But some of the harder flints and some of the really tough stuff like rhyolite here in North Carolina, you can't use some like sandstones and things like that. You have to have a really hard hammerstone. All right, so I'm just going to take all this off here. This video may be a little long, because I'm going to try to explain things as we go. Alright, so now once I come up to this top part, okay, I want to start angling it this way a little bit, alright, and I want to kind of scrape off as I hit. So I want to hit and scrape. Now I don't want to hit up top, I want to hit down here on this edge and scrape, alright. So that's what I'm doing. I'm hitting and I'm pushing through. Just spin her around. Just a warning. If you want to learn to flint knap and you are going to try this, you are going to get cut. Okay? It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Sometimes it happens a lot. Sometimes it happens really bad. Sometimes they're just little scratches. After a while, after you've been napping for a while, you tend to learn to get around all that, but it still happens. Okay, so I don't really cut myself a lot because I tend to learn where to keep my fingers and where not to keep my fingers under certain things. All right, goggles or glasses would be a good investment. Flakes of glass and flint don't go well in the eyes. Okay, and a respirator would also be something to think about as well. It's totally up to you guys. All right, I don't personally wear a respirator or a mask when I nap, but I nap outside mostly. Although I have napped inside without it as well. But silica dust, and that's what this is silica. Silica dust is not good to inhale inside of your lungs. So, you know, a mask would definitely be a smart thing to do, especially if you're going to be indoors. If you're indoors, make sure you have well ventilation, have some fans that are sucking the air out. That way, it's getting taken out of there. Be careful, Brian. Alright, now we got that done. I'm just going to scrape this edge more, just drag it, okay? And that's just grinding that edge down a little bit, just so there's no sharp spots where I'm going to cut myself. Alright, that's another little trick. Okay, now this is what we got now. We just got a flat, well, somewhat, it's a concaved, or convex. So, now, a little theory behind chipping and flaking, alright? Flint knapping is based off of the Hertzian cone, okay? And it is based off of a concordial fracture. So it's a predictable fracture. All these little flakes are predictable and where they're going to go and the angle of the attack that I do and where I hit and where I place my platforms, okay? We'll get into all that later. But flakes are the pieces that we remove, okay, to thin a piece and to shape it. All right, flakes like to travel on ridges, not in valleys, okay? And flakes like to run over hills and humps rather than into dips and divots, all right? So clearing this side is a lot harder than clearing this side, all right? If I want to flake this, I have a lot of step fractures here right now, but we're going to get rid of these, all right? And we'll get into that later too. When I flake this, these flakes are going to run all the way across this piece if I want them to, okay? Here, these flakes are going to go right to the bottom and they're going to stop. They will not travel back around this curve. All right, so that's what makes it a little difficult. All right, finding glass that's already flat, like plate glass or real thick glass, so where you can actually thin it out and get that concave out of it, is best. All right, this has pretty good bend to it, so we're going to have to do a lot of taking off all this out here. So we're really only going to end up with an arrowhead probably the size of this diamond right here. Okay, it's probably going to be about that big when we're done. All right, so that's all that we're going to lose doing this to be able to get what we need to get out of it. All right, so you're going to lose a lot of material doing it this way. Now, with that said, you could take a little tile saw or trim saw, and you could probably cut this in half, straight down the middle, and probably get 2 arrowheads out of it. So you could utilize your pieces a little more if you actually cut it and shape it with a tile saw, but you know, what fun is that? So I'm just letting you guys know what you can do. All right.